here to just talk about that breaking news that we have received. And here we go from Fabrizio Romano. I'll be reading out the tweet that Martin Zubimendi has agreed a deal verbally to join Arsenal in the summer. Something that we've been hearing rumblings on after the January window. I think it was first reported by Sammy Mockbell that Arsenal have, had a deal in place, agreed with Zubimendi to make that deal to move over to Arsenal in the summer. Obviously, he has a release clause, I think, of about £50 million, €60 million that Arsenal are going to activate and do very early. Obviously, came out in January. Obviously, that could all be smoke screen. And considering what happened with Zubimendi and Liverpool last season, where the deal seemed all but agreed, we saw here he goes, and then he ended up, moving back on the deal. I was a bit sceptical to talk about this on my channel, a bit sceptical to talk about Zubimendi. I do love the player, but just sceptical to talk about it because I don't want that to happen to us. And it may still happen. It's already verbally agreed. That's nothing on paper, but I'll read what it says. So Fabrizio Romano tweeted an hour ago that Arsenal agreed a deal to sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Here we go. Zubimendi has now verbally agreed to sign a long-term deal, so formal steps must follow soon for Arsenal to trigger the £60 million release clause. Zubimendi is ready to become the first signing of the new season. All I have to say is, Andrea Berta, you're putting in that work. I ain't ever seen Arsenal have a here we go before the season's ended. I used to see teams like Chelsea, City, Barca, Madrid, United to an extent do these kind of deals and, have these agreements, and Fabrizio could come out and know that everything is done. But to see this now means Arsenal moving different. We've always tried to be just kind of keep things out the news, and maybe that kind of helps us. And I feel like it doesn't allow us to put that pressure both on the player and the club that we're trying to get the deal from. So I feel like I like what Andrea Berta is doing. He's bringing his experience, and obviously shout out to both Edu and Jason Aito. I think I saw a report that they have been putting this groundwork in for the majority of this deal, and obviously Berta's just coming in to close the deal. He's probably making sure that it gets done early. There's no wasting of time, especially off the back of our disappointing season, our elimination from the Champions League against PSG. It becomes a situation where having a player like Zubimendi in our team is vital. We saw the news come out from Fabrizio Romano, I think, last week. I put up here that obviously Jorginho's agreed a deal to join Flamengo on a free transfer at the end of the season. And albeit Jorginho hasn't featured that much this season, his profile, his skill traits, the things he brings to the team still needs to be replaced and still needs to be carried on. And bringing someone like Zubimendi, who I always call a baby Jorginho, not just because he's short as well, but because also his play style, he's a high passing six, he knows how to dictate and control play. He's also good at breaking up play as well. And I believe he can still develop that lovely relationship that we saw Rice and Jorginho develop, similar to what we've seen Partey and Rice develop, and we can see that happen again with Zubimendi. So I'm very happy about this deal. 50 million of the budget gone to a DM. Does that mean that Partey is going to sign a deal and he becomes maybe like, the Jorginho role where the senior six come in for certain games, or start off and kind of let Zubimendi settle in, or are we going to let Partey go as well and then we bring in more of a younger six to kind of deputise both Zubimendi and Rice in that position? So yeah, that's 50 million of the budget gone. And if Arsenal been barking like this already, knowing that we still have to sign a striker, probably a left winger and some other areas of the team, I like it. We're going for quality and we're moving serious. This is the kind of window I think that we needed. We didn't need this draggy. Arsenal are nearing the deal. Arsenal are closing the deal. Arsenal are trying to get the numbers right. No, just the money's there. Boom. If especially these players that we're going for, like if it isn't an Isak, a Gyokeres, if it isn't, and also Gyokeres, Nico Williams, a lot of these players have release clauses. Just pay that release clause and then you move on in terms of having to discuss the wages. But yeah, Zubimendi is the first signing of the Berta era, the first signing of our new season, and it's a good sign because I thought all that stuff in general was smoke screen, but it's good to see this club serious. Obviously, want to see it get properly agreed, pen to paper, here we go from Arsenal and stuff like that, but that probably will come when the season's done. The news Zubimendi is going to leave at the end of the season, so that is very, very, very good. Obviously, on other news as well, we saw that David Ornstein reported yesterday that Arsenal are opening talks with William Saliba over a new deal. There's nothing that's been agreed yet, but Arsenal know what it takes to give Saliba what he wants. Saliba does want to stay at Arsenal, and when the news comes out from Mr. Orney, it gives me very, very confidence that maybe something is nearing soon enough. Obviously, we already know Saka, I think, already signed his deal or almost signed his deal. The likes of Wanyeri, Lewis Skelly, I think Gabriel's going to get offered a new deal as well. I don't know about any other player, but we need to keep Saliba. And it just tells me again, Mr. Berta. This is different kind of energy, man. He's come in, been 2 months, and already there's been millions of links. I've covered that on my channel as well. Millions of links that I haven't covered as well, and obviously also players that are needed their deal to get signed, needed their deal to get like to be renewed, given the value of money that they believe that they are, is getting done. So that's very, very good. So yeah, we saw a lot of winger news coming out like yesterday as well. We saw links to Rafael Leao from some foreign sources. We saw links to, I think it was Nico Williams, if I'm correct, Victor Gyokeres. We saw the Isak news at Arsenal. Obviously, it's been a long time that Mikel Arteta has Isak as his #1 striker, but obviously the price is going to be difficult. But a lot of people in Arsenal do want to sign Isak if the deal can be done. But if not, Gyokeres is there. We've been hearing that Andre Perth has been pushing a lot to get Gyokeres to come to Arsenal. We heard that he wants to come to Arsenal as well. The groundwork seemed to be done well. Obviously, it's a release clause that we just need to trigger. So maybe Arsenal are setting themselves well to say maybe we might try a move for Isak maybe early. If it don't happen, then we're gonna go to Gyokeres. So that's good. And if Leao is the winger that we want to sign, obviously that was from some foreign ground, and it said that it might take close to 100 million to sign Leao. I don't think so, especially if the back of AC Milan not making Europe, I believe, and also not having the greatest of seasons. Probably could get it for cheaper. But if Leao's the one, everyone knows on this channel, everyone knows that knows me knows Leao's been my #1 left winger to bring that superstar level, similar to Bukayo Saka, but even just a bit more excitement. So if that's the guy, amazing. If not, I think I really like Gittins from Dortmund, British player as well, English player. I think he is ready to explode, and he kind of allows us to not, go overboard on that position and that money, and maybe we can still have, money to spend in a #10 that I think we really need, or a right centre back to cover for Saliba, because we really need that as well. So yeah, just happy that this has been confirmed. Obviously, a lot of transfer news have been pumping out since we've come out of the Champions League on Wednesday, Thursday. And obviously we face Liverpool tomorrow in our Premier League game. We need to win that game because we need to finish second and, give ourselves a security of getting Champions League, extra prize money for finishing high as well. And I want to make a statement against Liverpool, albeit they're probably on the island because, they have a couple more games to lift their title. But we need to make a statement. Do you know what I mean? This is all that we have left, and we need to win our next 3 games and end the season right. And then obviously hope we have a big summer and then attack and try and win that league next season. So it's been your boy Cape. Comment down below your thoughts on the Zubimendi deal. Do you like him? Do you not like him? Do you think he's going to turn his back again like we did in Liverpool? And just on every other news that I've talked about in terms of both Leao, both Gyokeres and the Saliba potential new contract. Catch you guys in the next video. Speak soon.